Alright, so I'm still on the budget bill. Welcome back to the channel. And mocking up the Sidewinder. I was going to get another exhaust, but I don't know. This exhaust is pretty light. It's loud. I'm probably going to put the baffle back in, but I'm not sure. And so I was going through some drama. I tried to use a Gen 1 subframe to put on the bike, but that didn't work itself out. So what I did was I took the Gen 3 one, which is right here. This is supposed to go on my turbo bike. So I took that off, ordered another one, and I'm going to see how light I can make this Gen 3 subframe. Now the Gen 3 subframe, like stock, I got the extra pieces and stuff over there. I think I had, you know, some of it's right here. Anybody who has a Gen 3 knows that the subframe is very, very heavy. Even when I pick this subframe up, basically stripping it of everything, is very, very heavy. So in keeping with the whole budget build, I mean, a turbo bike doesn't really care about a lot of weight, so I don't care about it for that reason. But I think I can probably shave a pound or two. I'm gonna have to chop it up a lot, but what I'm trying to do is still utilize my I1 Moto stuff for this. So I took the Gen 1 to the machine shop, and it's just, you know, Gen 1 to Gen 2, you know, you can kind of sham for the Gen 1 aluminum frame and then, you know, change the Frankenstein bolts, position, stuff like that to make the Gen 2 stuff fit. And that way you kind of save some money, because obviously if you look online at today's subframes, I think if I was just to buy it, it's like $850 before taxes and shipping. $1,000 for a normal subframe, I'm too cheap for that. So I'll just do this, and I'm gonna show y'all, and we'll see what happens. You know, if I can knock a pound or two off of it, oh well. You know, I'm kind of looking at it. Let me explain what I think I'm gonna do though. Here we go. So as you can see, I've already marked off where I think a lot of the weight is. For instance, like, I don't even think this is needed, this is needed, these are needed. I mean, it's a race tail situation. This whole second, like, even all of this, I don't even think all of this is needed. Like, I might come up here and then cut all of this off too, like every single tab. So it's a small, all I need is for this thing to hold me at my size, which is about right here. So I'm not really concerned with that. If I can get this thing down to 3 pounds or less, I think I'm moving in the right direction. It's gonna be hard though, because this thing is heavy, very, very heavy. So we'll see what I try to do. But while I'm thinking about it, let's weigh it. Be back. All right. So how much does this thing weigh? Let me get my fish scale. Good to go. So this subframe by itself is 8 pounds. Now when I had did this with everything, it was over 10 pounds. This thing is heavy. That's almost 9 pounds. That's crazy. 8.72. So I already have it all marked up and stuff. I think one of the first things I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the subframe on the bike and then make sure that the race tail I have actually mocks up and fits it. Race tails, you know how it is. So let me do that. Let me see if it actually works itself out. Be back. All right, so as y'all can see, it's mocked up. I did the right thing. It's the Gen 3 stuff. It's all good. So so I know that the race tail fits. Now all I have to do is figure out what am I going to do with the tray. Am I going to try to use the old tiger tail to make a tray for it? Am I going to take carbon fiber and rivet it to the bottom of this? I'm not sure yet. But the first thing I got to do is modify it. So that's that. And at least this. Okay, so I think this is a good time to talk about the Gen 3 conversion, right? And literally I've done a Gen 1 to Gen 3. Gen 2 to Gen 3, same thing, right? So what I'm going through is, because this is a drag bike and the batteries relocated and everything, so what I got is, this is my battery box, because I'm trying to still keep all of the weight to the front. This won't be as much as, it won't be as involved as the other bike. But, so what I normally do is mock everything up first to see if things fit. And right now, because of the Gen 3 Ram Air, I'm not sure that the battery box is going to make any sense, because as you can see on the Gen 2, this fit perfectly because the Ram Air didn't fit like this, whereas for this it's in the way. Now I took the opportunity to make these Ram Airs lighter, but remember, budget build, so for a Gen 3 at a minimum you're going to need the Ram Air, the fairing stay, and the subframe. I know some of you have probably already did it, but at a minimum, that's what you're going to need. There's some other little things, nuances that's a little bit different, but if you want your bike to have a new look or something, then this is some of the things you got to go through. So I want this still here, and I'm thinking that this battery box will clear if I put it about right here, give or take, something like that. I could put it all the way up here, but I think that's going to interfere with, well, actually it may not. So it's looking like I can make this work for what I already have. I just got to put the front end on and kind of mark it and see where it might interfere. So that's one of the downsides of 24 volt systems, but I still might be able to make it work. So I'm happy about that. All right. Yep. All right, so in looking at the Gen 1 that I had, that had my Gen 2 tail on it, you know, these, if you know anything, oh shoot, if you know anything about it, like these are very, very light, but I couldn't convert this without major modification. So what I think I'm gonna do is try to take the tiger tail off of this and retrofit it to the Gen 3 subframe somehow. Or I'm gonna have to do what I said before, get some flexible carbon and then kind of rivet it to the bottom of it so I can keep the weight down. But if you notice though, you see how much smaller and shorter the Gen 1 and Gen 2 stuff is versus the extracurricular nonsense that the Gen 3 has. Just my opinion, of course. So this is where I'm at right now, and I'm gonna take a break off of it, and then eventually I'm gonna have to get the body work. Once the battery and stuff is on, then I'm gonna have to get the body work on and then mock everything up to make sure everything lines up, everything fits. Obviously the sides for the sidewinder, which I already technically cut it for a sidewinder, but that was my other sidewinder, not this one. So we'll see, but I mean, there's progress. So I'm excited about it. All right, any more updates and stuff, I'll be back about it. It's a lot of work. Okay, so as promised, not going to show the process, but so I got my grinder, I have my fish scale, so I can weigh things, or weigh the subframe as I cut stuff off, and then that's really it. So again, I've already mocked up the race tail, and I'm just doing this so anybody who wants to save some money, you got a Gen 3, Gen 2, whatever, as long as you use a race tail, then this should work, you know. Now I've already, like I said, I already have it marked, so I'm gonna just get to work, and then as I go, well, no, that's a lot of work because I'm kind of behind time, so I'll just do it, and then at the very end I'll just put it back on video, and then we'll see how much the subframe weighs. I think I've already weighed it. It was like 8 or 9 pounds, almost 9 pounds. So let's see how much weight I can knock off this thing. Just cutting it, not even drilling holes and none of that stuff yet. All right, be back. You know what's funny? I forgot to explain what I was cutting off. So I'm gonna do it real quick. So far I've already cut off. This is where usually you have that rear cowl. So the rear cowl, for lack of better terms, the loops, that's gone. This usually, I forget what attaches to this. I believe it's the OEM tail plastics and stuff. So I'm not going to be using this either. All I need is the Frankenstein bolts and then the bolts that obviously go to the frame. So more than likely I'm gonna get rid of these. I've already got rid of this, and then more than likely I'm gonna get rid of all of this. Like, I'm probably gonna go straight back and cut this whole thing off, and then I'm probably gonna get rid of this, and then I'm gonna probably go right here, and then I'm gonna come right here and come down. That way, where my big behind is sitting is still kind of braced. I'll get to that point probably and then see again how much it weighs then. I think that should at least drop a pound, or at least a pound. And then after that, then I will look at other places to chop up. So, okay, now I'll be back. Okay, so this is where I'm at right now. It actually feels a little bit lighter, still heavy though, but this is all that's been taken off, and this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna weigh it real quick. Let's see. So just that little bit, I'm at 7 pounds 20 ounces. So just that little bit, and I'm already, I think I've taken off what? It was almost 9 pounds, so almost 2 pounds maybe, at least a pound. So just that little bit is a pound. I mean, this thing is heavy, but again, budget build, right? A couple of $100 versus almost $1,000. Let's see. I'm gonna keep on working. Alright, so this is what I have left so far. I'm gonna weigh it, and this is what I took off. And so I know that my race tail, all I need is the Frankenstein bolts, and then I need a place to bolt the bottom of the tail, which I'm gonna have to drill and rivet this or something, or tap it or something. I'm not sure yet, but the primary thing for this was get this thing as light as possible. Now, I haven't drilled any holes or did none of that stuff yet. I don't think I need to do that, because this stuff here, you know, I mean, it's got some weight to it. So we started off at almost 9 pounds, I think. Got to go back and look at the video, but I'll put that down so you know that I'm not live, but live. Okay, so now I'm at 5 pounds 38 ounces. So far I think I'm at a little over 3 pounds, almost 4 pounds that I've dropped off this thing. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know, save myself, you know, a couple of dollars. I don't know how much the ones online weigh, but I do know that at least I saved myself, you know, if you have a race tail anyways, at least I saved myself, you know, at least $500. So at least that. Now what I'll do next eventually is I'll probably drill, I'll chop up the tiger tail, so I'll have a plate for my electronics. So that's that. Okay, I'll be back with whatever else I do to it. Okay, so based upon what I see online, DME makes some great subframes, and some of you might be asking why I didn't just spend the $860 on it, and then add the powder coat. It's $900 or something, and shipping and taxes, like I said, probably closer to $1,000. I didn't think it was, you know, this is just a budget thing. So like, if I spend, now if you're like doing all the OEM stuff, then okay, I get it, you know. But if you're doing something with a race tail, then I mean, look into this, to me anyways. So it says that the Gen 3, their subframe weighs about, what is it, 3 pounds or 3.6 pounds or 3 pounds 60 ounces or something like that, which equals to a 5.25 pound savings. The stock weight is 8.85, so like I said, almost 9 pounds. Now, that's the subframe. That's not like the little bracketry that comes off of it and then the whole plastic piece that comes, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot more than the subframe on the Gen 3. You can get away with a lot more with a Gen 1 or a Gen 2. So, to me, I already mocked my tail up, as you can see. And to me, I think the weight was what, a little over 5 pounds, so 3.6 versus 5 point whatever. I mean, okay, so I'm giving up about 2 to 3 pounds, but I saved, you know, a lot of money. So just look into it. I probably, looking at it, I can drill holes and do more stuff to it, but for my application for this thing here, it's not really necessary. I just wanted to make sure that the tail can bolt on. Now what I am going to do is, the last thing I'm going to do is, this was my original tail on the drag bike. I mean, it's light. I do have carbon fiber as well. So the plan now, since I have somewhat of a flat surface, the plan is to basically make this work on that, so I have a place to put any, you know, the ECU or electronics, whatever I have left. So I won't need anything back here because I only need really just this. So I don't know if I want to bore y'all with that, but I mean, this thing, it weighs nothing. Anybody that knows about Tiger Tails know these things are light, and they do give you a little bit more clearance for your rear wheel. So, and it's mainly a drag thing. That's why I was on my drag bike. But so far, the only thing that I did was spend a couple of $100s on this subframe. And as you can see, I've already lost a good amount of weight. And by the time I add everything up, I can almost guarantee my rear will weigh less and, you know, for far cheaper than the average Gen 3 that's out there. So anyways, that's the gist of it. I'm not gonna bore y'all, so follow the bill, like, share, subscribe. There's a lot more going on with this 1441 than I thought. It's turning into another project, so peace. Okay, so I've already mocked up the Tiger Tail I initially had. As you can see, there's almost nothing left. So I'm just a mock-up before I start modifying stuff. So what's happening is it's getting caught right here. But the plan is to probably cut this somewhere up here, more than likely, and then I'm going to attach this. I'm going to drill into this, tap it, and then attach the Tiger Tail to this brace right here. That way it won't move or anything, and then I'll have more than enough space for not only the ECU but a power commander or whatever, you know. You can even stack it on top of each other because all of this is going to be covered anyways. So there's no need for me to have anything back here, which is more weight reduction. So I thought that was the end of the video last time, but okay, this is the end. Because unless in the comments, if y'all want me to keep going and show you more details about what's going on with this, instead of holding and waiting to the end, let me know, and then I'll just stop what I'm doing and then keep doing this, you know. So anyways, that's that, and follow the build.